Hi guys, I'm Nicole Waterhouse. I'm a double board certified nurse practitioner, certified in family nursing practice, and I'm a hormone specialist. So what you're about to see right now is an event that I was invited to speak at in a panel discussion with a bunch of absolutely amazing women a few weeks ago at the Drip Bar in Rye, New York. And, it was interesting, it was powerful, it was amazing seeing all these women come together and kind of speak to, about business ownership, about being a woman, about, wellness and healthcare and taking care of ourselves as women. So that's what you'll be watching shortly, and I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments or send us a DM.
And she also specifically was talking about the way that Mercury is next to Venus today, which is a very beneficial planet that rules women, art, beauty, money, and so much more other delicious things. So we're very excited to be joining each other on this day specifically, and I thank Krista for sharing her thoughts. But now I am super excited for these amazing ladies to introduce themselves. And what I'd like each of them to do is to tell us not just who they are and what they do, but this sort of personal story that got you to where you are today. So Nicole, you're next to me. We'll start with you.
Okay, perfect. Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Waterhouse. I am a doctor of nursing practice, nurse practitioner, and I'm the CEO and founder of Alpha Health of New Jersey. And what we do is whole health optimization. So we do blood work, we look at someone's hormone panels, stress levels, cortisol levels, we look at micronutrients and inflammatory markers. So basically, I will do an intake, it's a long questionnaire. We go over, health symptoms. So most of my clients are women, 80% are women. So perimenopausal, menopausal, that's kind of my specialty. So bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, weight loss, peptides. We look at the whole person, the whole body. So that's what we do. My background is in emergency medicine. So for 18 years, I worked in the emergency department. And I worked through COVID as a nurse practitioner. And that's, for me, the personal piece, working right outside of New York. And when COVID first hit in 2020, it was a disaster. We all know. And literally, I would spend weeks and days just pronouncing people deceased. And I realized I can't do this anymore. Like my children, my daughter was in kindergarten, my son was 1 year old. And so they had no school, no daycare. And my parents who were older, we couldn't have them come watch the children. My husband and I both were working in the hospital at that time. So we had to be there. We had no one to watch our kids. We were nervous. We didn't want to, if we became infected, we didn't want to get our family infected, So we lived through that, but, I had PTSD from it, honestly. So I started questioning traditional medicine during that time period. I worked as a professor at Rutgers University at the same time, and I really was all for traditional medicine during, my whole life up until that point. Then I began questioning, why are we not preventing illnesses? Why don't we speak more about nutrition and wellness and movement and sleep and how stress affects people, right? We noticed that the majority of people who had the worst outcomes, they tended to be, of ill health, morbidly obese. They didn't do well. They fared much worse off. So why weren't we preventing these things or trying to, right? So that's when I dug deep and got involved in functional medicine. So I learned about functional medicine, hormone replacement therapy, and, all of the things wellness speaks to. So when I personally started hormone replacement therapy, I was 37 years old, beginning to go through perimenopause, and it completely changed my life. I was 80 pounds heavier, so I lost 80 pounds. This was 6 years ago. And, of course, eating well, exercising, doing all of the right things. But I realized, it really saved my marriage. It changed me. I became more confident, energetic, there for my children. And I thought, I have to bring this to everyone. Why are more people not doing this? What's happening? So I started my practice 6 years ago. I right now have 3 other practitioners working for me, and we're licensed in 20 states. So we do telemedicine throughout. And we change lives every day.
Thank you, Nicole. Okay, Linda.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks to Andrea and Natalia. I'm Linda Stevens. I'm a women's health specialist. I have my master's degree in clinical nutrition, and I competed for 10 years as a professional bodybuilder. So that's a little bit of my history. I like to say the first half of my life, I worked on Wall Street in equity sales and trading. I worked on trading floors and dealt with big accounts and managed a lot of money. And then in my 30s, I had my children. I have a 24-year-old son and a 21-year-old daughter. And I did that in my 30s. And being someone that is always taking care of themselves, I always lifted weights. I was active as a kid. I attribute a lot of that to my dad because he is 84 and still is riding his bike, hiking, mountain biking, snowshoeing, doing all this stuff at his age. But when we were kids, we weren't allowed to be idle. Like if we were in the house, he's like, out. And come in when I let you come in, go do something. And that was how we were brought up. So I've always been active. As I moved through my 40s, I'm 57 now, as I moved into my late 40s, when I look back now, I know what it was. It was all these perimenopausal symptoms I was having. A lot of anxiety, some mood stuff, just not feeling like myself, getting amped up really easily, getting angry really easily. And just when I look back now, I see, and I was actually speaking last night at another event, and you think about your life, right? You think back on the years and how you did things and if you would change anything. And I realize now, that late 40, 50 something demographic is a big time when a lot of women get divorced. Yeah. That statistic is out there. And it's because we go through so many changes at that time point and no one tells us about it. We just think we're losing our mind. And they tell you, you just think it's PMS or whatever. And, I really wonder if I had known that what it was then, like perimenopause, and maybe started some hormone therapy and sort of straightened myself out a little bit, maybe I might not have gotten divorced. I don't know. It is interesting to think about. But my point is, it's really a game changer. So my message is, don't be afraid of it. It doesn't matter how old you are. Don't let a doctor tell you, and Nicole can attest to this. This is her area. But even if you're 60 something, don't let them tell you can't do it, because you can. And you can always make changes to how you feel, because it's just going to set us up to protect our bone, our brains, and our hearts as we get older, because those are the three things that women will say, well, I sailed through menopause, I had no symptoms. I'm like, that's awesome for you, but when is your bone density, how's your cardiovascular health, and what about cognitive health? So it is, and for the young ladies in the room, it's never too young to do a baseline hormone test to just see where they are and understand your body, so as you get older, you can avoid the symptoms, because you'll see, well, you're starting to dip a little bit. Let's bring you up to optimal and keep you where you've been, and you just sort of cruise through your life. Hopefully the young girls and the generations coming up won't have to deal with and be symptomatic for menopause, because we have everything we need. We know what we need to do.
So I want to take it back to where we started, which is this idea of a new year and intentions. So I'd like to hear from each of you. How are you kind of looking towards the future for 2026? How are you guys setting intentions for yourself and for your clients?
Okay, I guess I'll go first. I'm like, I don't know, let's see. So for myself, this year, we're from a business standpoint, we're looking at growth and kind of scaling. So we're planning to open three more Alpha Healths in other states. So there's that. So it's kind of a big deal. But for me, it's staying focused and being present, because I think I am this high achiever, type A person. My brain's always going, right? I can't chill out ever. And I think, we all have 24 hours in a day, right? And sometimes certain things are going to kind of fall aside, right? You can only give so much of yourself to each thing. And it's hard to, have that balance in life. And for me, I realize being present is very important, and I need to be conscious and have that mindset going into the day. So this year I decided I want to be present wherever I'm present. So cell phones, right? I mean, social media, cell phones. Like my son, I think it said he had to fill something out for Mother's Day last year in May, and it said, what are your mom's favorite things? And one of them was the phone. And it broke my heart. And I'm on my phone for social media, for business, and answering calls, client calls. You know, I'm concierge, so people can text, and I'm constantly communicating with them. But I didn't like that feeling, right? So for me, for 2026, it's being present wherever I'm present. And, you know, everything else can wait. I'm where I need to be, whether it's with my children, with a client, in this space. I want the person I'm with, the people I'm with, to feel that energy and know that I'm here with them and I'm listening. So I do that for myself and also with my clients. My main thing, I will usually start with mindset, because a lot of what I do, it's changing the way that people think and having those limited beliefs that they have, right? So I teach them to journal, like one of the big things, waking up, having a routine in the morning. So usually waking up early, maybe journaling, meditating, whatever works for them. It may be different, but just kind of following a routine and, you know, being present and establishing their day and feeling a win right off the bat when they wake up.
So I hope you guys enjoyed what you just watched. I have to say, it was so amazing, the power and the energy in the room that was felt during this event at the Drip Bar Rye. Thank you so much again for having us. And if anyone has any questions, let us know. If you are interested in Alpha Health Services as well, feel free to DM us or contact us and manifest your life.